Hello, I'm Jenny from Silver Bunny Stitches. Hello to anybody new finding me and welcome back to any of my existing subscribers. You'll notice today that I am not in the camera. This is because I have not been well over the last few months. I've had problems with my balance, I've had depression, anxiety, not sleeping properly. I was kind of feeling zonked out and brain dead by 3 o'clock every day. I had a blood test eventually, and it turns out that I have pernicious anemia, which is a vitamin B12 deficiency. So I had a course of injections for it. I feel a bit better, but I'm not feeling up to being on camera, but I definitely wanted to come and show you all my progress. I have some fully finished items, and I will throw you forward in a minute, throw you back in time in a minute to have a look at them. But first I want to show you my supernatural cell, which I have finished but not fully finished. While I wasn't feeling well, I kind of got really into monogamous stitching, so there's been a lot of progress but not on as many projects. So I think last time you saw it, I'd got part of the unicorn, I'd done the banshee, the siren, the werewolf, the changeling, the zombie, the witch, the angel and the djinn. So then I carried on and I did this vampire and the gnome, the harpy, the fairy, the demon, the ghost and the ogre. And this wasn't a planned finish for this year. Well, I was hoping it to finish in the year, but I was going to do one of the supernaturals each month. But I found it quite an easy stitch, so when I wasn't feeling great, it was nice to just have a boring, monotonous border that I could work on without too many problems. So that's all finished. I'm probably going to try and find a frame to put this one in at some point. But what I'll do now is I'll send you back in time so you can see my fully finished items. So this is a finish number 1. This is my Body Threads Kings and Queens. I finished it off and I literally took it to the framers, like I think the next day, because I knew if I sat on it that it would just go into the drawer of perpetual waiting. And it would be another 8 years before it got finished off. So I chose quite a chunky frame for it. There's no glass. It's going up into my son's playroom. And I'm a little bit worried that if he throws anything, that it'll damage it. So I absolutely love this. You can see that I finished off the eyes with beads. I wanted them all to be a standard size. I don't find doing French knots too bad, but they don't usually come out that uniform in size. So I've done all the beading as well on them. There we go, the last couple rows. There we are. So what I'm going to do now is put this away because it's still got the bubble wrap on it. Because until I get up on the walls, I want it to be nice and safe. And I will get out the next fully finished item. So this is my Fellowship of the Rings piece. As you can see from the reflection, it has got glass in it. This is the one that I think I am absolutely the happiest about how it's come out. It is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to get this one up on the wall, but I wanted to show it to you all before I do. In fact, I'm going to go and put it up as soon as I have finished filming this little segment. Yeah, just totally in love with this one. It's my first proper full coverage. Yeah, so I will end this now and then I'm going to go upstairs because I have more fully finished things to show you. So see you up there. Okay, so I now have 3.5 finishes to show you. The first one is my exchange for when I go to my stitching retreat in May. The chances of anybody who is going watching this is incredibly slim, but if you don't want to see, just skip ahead a few seconds. So I have done this. I stitched her, Queen Victoria, I stitched her as part of my Body Threads Kings and Queens before I had to restart it. We have learnt many lessons making her into a cushion. First lesson we learnt was do not sew the things together without putting the eye on, because I had to, it was incredibly difficult to then put the eye on. I also learnt that I hadn't really left enough fabric around the edges to sew it all together. So you can see we're kind of like, we've almost missed the A off Victoria. But I still think she looks really good, and hopefully somebody will really enjoy her. So that was one. And I was on a bit of a, like, well, I've got all the things out to finish cushions. So I finished off my Feeling Very Frosty pillow. Learnt my lesson from this one and gave myself much more fabric around the edges. I am super pleased with how this one's come out. Oh, that one has just black on the back of it, and this one has just it looks white or cream, but it's a light grey. The lesson on this one is don't stitch it up with black thread when your fabrics are grey. So I'm either going to put some form of trim around the edge of it eventually, or I will just unpick this and I will do it with a grey before Christmas. But yeah, really like that one. My little crochet reindeer. I didn't make him, I bought him, but he's super cute and he sits on my desk. The third finish is this one. Now this was a freebie off, I think, the Cross Stitcher magazine from years and years and years ago. And I finished him originally into a card, and then I realised that I didn't like the card. I was never going to send the card because I think the card said something like, wish you were here. And I was like, well, I can't really send that for a birthday or any other sort of celebration. So he just kind of sat as a card for ages. And then I decided that I would pull him apart and that I would make him up again with this fabric. It's just glued on the back. And put him on this easel, and I now absolutely love him. I was going to give him as an part of the exchange when I go and do my retreat in the end of June, but I've since decided that he's going to stay because I really like him. And the half fully finished thing is this. I don't know if you'll have seen him before. He's my Dimensions Wolf. He has been in the drawer perpetual waiting for a long time. I knew what I wanted to do with him. I knew I wanted to finish him like this, but I found the idea of doing it incredibly daunting. But it was last week. I was just really motivated to use the sewing machine, which is here. So I dragged him out. I'm really pleased with this inside one, but lessons have been learned about the outside one because that looks fine, but here it's kind of, I've got one going underneath and one on top. So I've learnt my lesson that pay attention to where you're placing things. However, I am super pleased with him. He's come out looking just how I wanted him to look. The back's a little bit of a hodgepodge, and he's not 100% finished because I think I'm going to attach some little hooks or something on here, and then I can put some string, or I might even plait some floss to create a hanging for him. So we'll see how long it takes me to actually 100% fully finish him off. But yeah, so those are all my finishes, and now we'll go and talk about my whips. Okay, so back to my works in progress. The first one that I've done and got quite a lot of progress in on is Spooky Halloween by Doreen Jones. So that's what it'll look like when it's finished, and this is what my one looks like now. So last time you saw it, I think I'd done a thin strip down here, and and now I've worked on it quite a lot. There we go. I'm really enjoying this one. I love Durand Jones patterns. Up here it did say 2017, but I've changed it to say Boo, because where it was charted I couldn't fit easily 2023 in. It's looking good. All the white here is glow in the dark. I hadn't realised, but after I'd kind of pulled some threads, you can see they're nice and chunky here, and then the coverage is really bad here. And this is thread which had been I'd pulled it off the two strands off, and then they'd sat in the bag for ages, and I just think that they've worn down slightly because I threw that section away and got out some more and put it in here, and it's filled it fine. So I think there must have been something about it being sat in the bag that would perhaps condensed the stitches down. Yep, so that one's looking super good. So that's that one. And then this is a new start which I purchased from the Black Needle Society Vault and had shipped over to the UK from America, and it's must be possible. The impossible could not have happened, therefore the impossible must be possible in spite of appearances, which is an Agatha Christie quote. And I've got a little bit done on this, but not as much. Yeah, so that's where we are on it. I'm finding these letters quite tricky, but all the rest of it's been quite fun to stitch up. So I'm going to my first ever cross stitch retreat in Retford in the UK at the weekend, and I'm thinking about maybe taking this with me. As a side note, I'm guessing possibly nobody that's going is on my Flosstube because my Flosstube's quite small, but if you are going, please come and say hello to me because I am absolutely terrified of walking into that room and not knowing anybody. So yeah, if you're there, come say hi. So this is a new start. Because my balance hasn't been great, I've been back on crutches, and using a crutch after a while starts to hurt my side and my shoulders, so I haven't been able to hold anything heavy at night. So I just picked up one of the Mill Hill buttons and beads to do because they're nice and light. And this is how far I've got. It's that upside down. Yep, that is the right way up. So I've just done this little window here. There's this window here. So they're always super fun. I enjoy doing them. Yep, so that's that one. And then the last and only other thing that I've worked on is my map of the British Isles. Goodness, it's getting super big now. We are, I can just about fit it all in. So since you saw it last, I think I'd got Ireland finished, and I think I was up to about here. So since you saw it last, I've dragged all the way down and I've almost finished Wales. I just need to do the edging in the blue round. I've done East Anglia, coming down into London and Brighton, and then when I was having my brain dead feelings a few weeks ago, I did the edging here, and then I did a load to fill in for France. So that's looking really good. I'm not quite seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with it yet, but almost, I think. Yep, I'll give you a little look up into the north of England. There's York where I am, up into Scotland. And then I do have the last bit of this that I do need to finish off as well, before it's finished. There we go. So that's looking super good. And as I say, I feel I'm kind of getting towards the end, but not quite at the point yet where I'll just sit down and work on it exclusively to get it finished. There we go. I had a little bit of haul of things that I've ended up purchasing. I'm trying not to purchase things this year because I don't have much money, but I got a voucher for Christmas for one of the was it Patchwork Rabbit in the UK. So there's a few things which I got using that. One of which was the reindeer, which is to go along with the fox that I already had. So I've got them. Then I picked up an Autumn Lane stitchery, Something Wicked This Way Comes. Absolutely love Autumn Lane. And I got a hands-on design because I want to do a little Halloween tree with decorations on it this year. So I thought they would look lovely on that. And the last thing that I got from a different shop was this Mill Hill hand-painted frame, because I did my Mill Hill gingerbread beads and buttons kit, and when I saw this I thought that is absolutely cute and has to come back with me. I've just realised there is one more project which I needed to show you. This is technically a finish, but it's not quite finished, and by that I mean this is my Shannon Christine Designs Winter Snowfall, I think that's right. All the cross stitch is finished. It's just the beading that I'm working on. I have ordered, I've got all the like gold beads that I need, but there's lots of little white or silvery beads that go in along here, and all in a lot more of it. I need to get them. I haven't taken it out the hoop to show it properly because I have like literally got it in, so it's not damaging any of the beads, and I don't want to move it until I've got these beads in here. Not quite sure how I'm going to do these beads here because I don't want to damage the ones already here. Might be that I take something off a scroll frame and put it on there, but we'll see when we get to it. But yeah, because the last time you saw it, all this side was finished, most of the tree and up to back here. So I worked on this section all the way down here, some at the bottom, this and here, and then I put in all the beads that you can see. I did buy some beads, but I bought the size too big. I was supposed to buy petite beads because these ones are petite, and I bought just ordinary Mill Hills, so I've got another order on the way with those in it. But that's looking super good, and hopefully the next time I come back and speak to you all, it'll be totally finished. So I am going to hop off now. Hopefully it won't be too long before I'm feeling better, and I can get back to kind of being my normal self. But yeah, I hope everyone's safe and that everyone's enjoying their spring. So I'll see you later. Bye.